In the dark and emotionally intense thriller Dissolution, the story follows a young man named Rajan whose life completely falls apart after he discovers that he has terminal cancer and only a few months left to live. Rajan is already struggling financially and emotionally, surviving day by day while secretly stealing vitamins and medicine just to ease his pain. His world feels hopeless, empty, and meaningless. One evening while walking through a grocery store parking lot, he accidentally runs into Sophie, the woman he once deeply loved. Their unexpected reunion instantly brings back painful memories and unresolved feelings that neither of them truly left behind. Sophie is now trapped in a toxic marriage with her controlling and abusive husband Trend. Although she tries to hide her suffering behind a calm face, Rajan quickly realizes that she is miserable. During their emotional conversation, Sophie admits that her marriage has become a nightmare filled with fear, manipulation, and emotional abuse. Rajan feels guilty because part of him still loves her deeply, but at the same time he knows he is dying and has nothing meaningful left to offer. Despite the sadness surrounding them, the spark between the two former lovers slowly reignites. That same night, Sophie secretly leaves her husband and visits Rajan's apartment. The atmosphere between them becomes emotional and intimate as they share memories of their past relationship. For the first time in years, both of them feel truly understood and safe. However, their peaceful moment is shattered when Rajan suddenly collapses in pain in the bathroom as the effects of his cancer become unbearable. Sophie watches helplessly as he suffers and she realizes she cannot lose him again. Determined to save the man she loves, Sophie begins desperately searching for any possible cure, even if it means crossing dangerous boundaries. During her search, she hears rumors about a mysterious woman named Madame Elena, a desert shaman known for practicing forbidden black magic rituals. Sophie convinces Rajan to travel with her into a remote desert area where Madame Elena lives in isolation, surrounded by strange symbols, candles, and dark spiritual objects. When they finally meet Madame Elena, the old woman immediately senses Rajan's sickness and Sophie's emotional desperation. She explains that there may be a way to save Rajan, but the ritual comes with terrifying consequences. According to Elena, death itself can be transferred from one body to another through an ancient forbidden ceremony. The process requires complete commitment, blood sacrifice, and a powerful emotional connection between the people involved. Sophie becomes obsessed with the possibility of saving Rajan no matter the cost. As the ritual preparations begin, the movie slowly transforms from a romantic drama into a disturbing psychological thriller. Sophie and Rajan participate in strange midnight ceremonies involving chant symbols, burning herbs, and painful spiritual tests. Madame Elena repeatedly warns them that interfering with fate will destroy innocent lives and permanently stain their souls. Rajan initially refuses to continue because he fears becoming responsible for another person's suffering. But Sophie's hatred toward her abusive husband grows stronger every day, and she secretly decides that Trend deserves to suffer for everything he has done to her. Meanwhile, Trend begins noticing Sophie's strange behavior and suspects she is hiding something. His anger and paranoia intensify, leading to violent confrontations between them. Instead of feeling fear, Sophie slowly becomes emotionally numb and colder. Her love for Rajan and desire for revenge consume her completely. The film carefully shows how desperation can transform a victim into someone willing to commit horrifying acts. Eventually, Madame Elena performs the final ritual deep in the desert during a terrifying night filled with storms and eerie silence. The ceremony requires Sophie to spiritually connect Rajan and Trend through blood and spoken incantations. As the ritual reaches its climax, Rajan experiences temporary relief while Trend suddenly becomes violently ill without understanding why. The transfer appears successful, but the consequences quickly spiral out of control. Trend's health rapidly deteriorates as he begins suffering from the same symptoms Rajan once had. Doctors are unable to explain how a healthy man could suddenly develop advanced terminal cancer within days. Trend becomes terrified, weak, and emotionally broken. Ironically, the powerful and abusive man who once controlled Sophie now depends entirely on others for survival. Sophie watches his downfall with a mixture of satisfaction and horror, realizing that revenge does not bring the peace she expected. At the same time, Rajan's condition improves, but he starts experiencing disturbing visions, nightmares, and psychological changes. He becomes haunted by guilt and fears that the ritual may have permanently corrupted his soul. Madame Elena warns him that death cannot simply disappear, it always leaves behind darkness. Rajan slowly realizes that surviving at someone else's expense has emotionally destroyed him. As Trend approaches death, he finally understands how much pain he caused Sophie throughout their marriage. In several emotional scenes, he attempts to apologize and seek forgiveness, but Sophie can no longer emotionally connect with him. She has already crossed a moral line that changed her forever. Instead of feeling victorious, she feels trapped between guilt, grief, and emotional emptiness. The relationship between Sophie and Rajan also begins falling apart. What once felt like passionate love slowly becomes poisoned by fear and regret. Rajan questions whether their survival was worth the terrible cost. Sophie insists they did what was necessary, but deep inside she knows they unleashed something evil into their lives. Their romance, which initially represented hope and second chances, slowly transforms into a painful reminder of obsession and revenge. In the film's final act, Madame Elena reveals that every ritual demands balance and no one escapes without consequences. Strange events begin occurring around Sophie and Rajan, suggesting that death itself still follows them. Rajan's visions become more violent and Sophie suffers emotional breakdowns as guilt overwhelms her conscience. The movie leaves viewers questioning whether the ritual truly worked or whether all three characters were spiritually doomed from the beginning. The ending remains dark, mysterious, and emotionally unsettling. Trend dies slowly from the transferred illness while Rajan survives physically but loses his emotional peace and humanity. Sophie, despite achieving revenge against her abusive husband, is left spiritually broken and emotionally empty. The film closes with an eerie sense that the curse and darkness created by the ritual may continue long after the story ends. Throughout the movie, Dissolution explores themes of love, revenge, abuse, mortality, and the dangerous consequences of trying to control fate. The story combines romance, psychological horror, and supernatural thriller elements to create a disturbing emotional journey where every character ultimately pays a heavy price for their choices. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.